It's time for the dreaded parent meeting. Something that every teacher has to go through and something every teacher hates. You've got a student in your class who's been acting out, just not getting along, not doing what he or she is supposed to do, being rude, all sorts of things, and you need some help from the parents. It's time to bring the parents in and have a little talk and see if you can figure things out. Nobody likes that kind of a meeting. But as it turns out, we can't make it necessarily pleasant, but we can get some help with the process from AI to make sure it is collaborative, positive, and helpful to the kid. So let's take a look at how we can get AI to help us with this dreaded, painful, terrible parent meeting. Here's the first prompt. So what we've got is a little context. Students, 8th grade, misbehaving in class. And then what you're going to do is you're going to actually list what have you seen occur. Not your feelings, not how it makes you feel, not anything like that. No adjectives, just what's happening, right? Because that's what we can deal with. We can deal with the objective experience, the observations, productively, far better than we can deal with any kind of oh, this is terrible, and I don't know what's going on, and, all sorts of things that we can say. He's a bad, naughty kid. No, what have you seen? And we're going to list those behaviors, those observable behaviors for the AI. So here, distracting, taking stuff, calling names, speaking out of turn. Okay, so those are all objectives. Then, what is the result of that? Problems with learning and peer relationships. And that's going to be the case for most situations. And then, part of the boilerplate for this prompt, which you can use for most parent meetings, I'll have a meeting, discuss the behavior. I need an objective script to explain it, seek potential causes, and get parent help. So the top part, one of my students, fill in the grade, is misbehaving. That's every case. The bottom two paragraphs, problems and meeting, that's every case. What you're going to modify is what are the actual observable behaviors that you've seen. All right, so let's start there, and then we're going to build on this. So let's come over here to ChatGPT, and I'm going to do it in a temporary chat. And go. And what is it going to give us? A professional objective script, sort of a step-by-step walk through this for conducting the meeting with the parents. Opening, thank you for coming, etc., etc. Stating the observations, and here's what you have seen. The impact, so you're basically just walking through this script. And then there's a place to turn it over to parents after you've described why you're there. I'd like to hear from you if you've noticed similar behaviors. Are there changes and challenges? Now we're reaching out to the parents, which is a very nice way to do that. And finally, collaboration. Here's what I'm going to do. My goal is to work with you. Here's what I'm going to do. Clear expectations, reinforce, etc., etc. And next steps. Can we agree on a plan that we both can do? For example, here are some things that I can do. So, we have a nice overview that is positive, productive, collaborative, objective, because we're trying to keep emotions down so we can actually work towards solutions. And the AI has come up with a pretty nice script to follow. Okay, so that's part one. Then, I think the reason why everybody hates parent meetings is because some parents are going to say, no, you're wrong. I don't see it. And what's wrong with you, teacher? So one of the things we can do is we can ask the AI to come up with possible objections from the parents. What might they say? And what are some things that you can say in response? Still maintaining that positive, objective, collaborative tone. So what are some possible objections regarding my assessment? And what are some things that I can say in response? I'm sorry to interrupt for just a moment. If this strategy helps you save time, teach more effectively, or lead your school, please subscribe to the channel for practical, no-fluff strategies for educators. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with a colleague. On the other hand, if you're a principal or a PD lead looking to prepare your staff for the challenges and opportunities of AI, contact us to schedule customized interactive training grounded in what educators really need. And one more thing, please make sure to click our newsletter link in the description and get your free AI starter guide, plus monthly strategies, resources, and information for using AI to improve student achievement. Now, back to the video. All right. And this really is the most difficult part of the conversation. Doesn't always happen, but this is what makes the situation, those kinds of meetings, so painful. When the parent says, I don't agree. So, some objections. He doesn't act like this at home. And here are some things you can say. The other kids are provoking. He's just being a kid. Boys will be boys. Well, here are some things that you can say so you can prepare yourself for those objections while keeping the focus on helping the student get along in class. Now, so that's great. It's your job to control the classroom. Yeah, part of it, but every student has a responsibility. I'm looking to partner with you. See how nicely it framed those responses. And then let's go one step beyond that. So we have the meeting, we've addressed those, but what are some of those key phrases to keep in mind if things start going south, if they start getting a little twisty? What are some things you can say to get the conversation back on track? You need short, polite phrases to use. You don't want to sound defensive. You want to keep the conversation calm, non-defensive, focus on solutions. So what are those types of phrases you can use? Let's see. Polite, non-defensive phrases. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate your input. I see where you're coming from. That's a good point. I'd like us to focus on next steps and so forth. This would be a great set to just keep in your mind. All right, so that's for what happens during the meeting, okay? To keep it on track and as pleasant as possible in a rather unpleasant situation. Parents don't want to be there either, I will tell you that. So, we've had the meeting. Now, what's next? Now, we want to send something home. You've met with the parents. You need right away within the next day, 2 days, certainly within the week, to send them a little letter, an overview, because you're trying to build that positive working relationship with the parents. So you need a follow-up letter template. And then with the template, you can put in the specifics from the meeting. So let me add that in there. Follow-up letter template. And put it on letterhead. It's official correspondence. Thank you for meeting. During our conversation, we discussed these behaviors. So we're reinforcing what we talked about, the impact, some possible contributing factors, some things you discussed, like why might this behavior be happening, and some strategies that collaboratively you're going to work on. It's good reinforcement. I will do these things. You will do these things. Our shared goal is to help Bob. I value your partnership. We need parents to be our partners, especially when kids are acting up. And one last step. So if we're going to send a little weekly update, we need a template. A template for a short progress note in a narrative format that I can fill out and send home weekly. And this will be the last piece. And go. Student week parent. Positive behaviors I observed. Areas that continue to need. Overall progress can be described as something. So it's a template, right? So you're going to fill in the details that are appropriate. And the AI has done a very good job of crafting that for us. So that is using AI to help us with, frankly, those terrible meetings that nobody likes, the dreaded parent meeting when kids misbehave. I hope you found these techniques useful. Take care.